Hi everybody, this is Emily Skirtich, and this is my screencast recording for Wordle. Wordle is a really cool tool that I have used in a couple of my classes for my students and in classes that I have had in grad school at Duquesne and my undergrad at St. Mary's College. So this is something that's really neat that I think you and your students would like and appreciate. Wordle is generating word clouds. It's a tool that allows you to generate word clouds so that you can use them as images, as JPEGs, or you could use them on your wiki spaces to upload for your students to see online. I've used them whenever I was creating a packet for students to complete as they read a book. So I thought I would show you what a Wordle is and how to create one. So this is an example of a Wordle that a student named Jonathan made about the U.S. Constitution. You can see the notebook cover here, English notebook cover, period G by Meredith, most common crossword answers by Jonathan. So what's really great is that you can change the fonts and the layouts and the color schemes of the Wordles and then tailor it to your own interests. So basically what you need to do is go to www.wordle.net and then create your own. There's a hyperlink here for create your own. And it will take you to this page where you can create and enter a bunch of text here and it will create a Wordle for you. So since I'm an English teacher, I have to stay true to my roots and my favorite author of all time, Jane Austen, and her most prized and acclaimed novel, Pride and Prejudice. I found it online on projectgutenberg.org where there are um, free listings of books and text available for anyone who'd like to use them. So all I'm going to do is select all the text and copy it directly from the website. Go back over to wordle.net/create and enter in, by copy and pasting, all that text that I just copied and entering it into the text box there. And then by selecting the term go, Wordle.net is going to prompt me to use Java and allow the program to run. So I have to approve of that application running. And it's going to generate for me a Wordle using all of the words, the text that I entered into that document, that word box. So a couple of cool things you can do with Wordle once you've created one. You can change the language. You can remove certain words like Croatian words or Norwegian words. Remove common English words is a really neat one. So it's the most populous words used, the most frequently used words in that text, other than the and an and it. These are words other than that that she uses the most frequently. I can change the font, change it to Kenyan coffee perhaps. I can change the layout. Let's say I want it to be mostly horizontal so I can read it mostly. And then my favorite feature, of course, is changing the color. So I think this is really visually pleasing and aesthetically cool for the students to see an author and see how often some things crop up in his or her writing. Obviously, Elizabeth Bennet is the protagonist of the story, and Mr. Darcy is the foil character to her, the man with whom she eventually falls in love with. And so it's interesting to see that in the story, obviously, Mr. Collins and Jane Bennet and Mr. Wickham and Catherine de Burgh, these are all static flat characters that are going to crop up inevitably because it is a story. Something I think is really interesting that you can do, I'm just going to go back, hit the back button, that I think would be really valuable for your students is if you take a piece of their work. So I pulled up one of my observations of my classrooms that I've written for Duquesne. I'm going to copy and paste this into a Wordle. And I think it's a really cool tool for students to use whenever they're making and creating their own writing to see which words they use the most frequently so that they can make their writing more active rather than passive and much more poignant. So I use the words students, dedicated, children, books, guidelines. So these are all great words if I wanted to include, if I didn't want to remove the common English words and I wanted all of them to be in there, then I could have more words like, or put, teach, simple. Those aren't the most positive words that I need, but it's interesting to see words that I do use. So, opportunity, morals, lessons, children. It's really good to see how frequently I use some of those words. So, I thought that that would be a pretty cool thing to do. Something that you could upload onto your wiki space. A really simple way of doing that, especially on a Mac, is by just doing a screen capture. And now you have an image on your desktop that you could just upload to a wiki spaces or to a Weebly site or a Google site, or print off and make the front page of a cover of a packet that you're creating. You could also print it, and you can enable that applet too. So I hope that you guys enjoyed my screencast, and hopefully you guys will be wordling quite soon. Thanks for watching.